Hey guys, today's Thursday, April the 6th of 2023. I want to go over the US dollar. So without any further delay, let's get into it. So this is the weekly chart, and there are three cycles here: the 181, the 227, and the 395. And then there also is the dominant cycle, which is 82. So I'm going to show you the strongest one, which is 181. This one hit a peak around November 28th, and it's hitting a cycle low trough around June the 13th of 2023. This cycle is down. The next one is the 227. This cycle is up and hits a peak around April 19th of 2023. And then the other one's the 395. This is the bigger cycle. And this one hits a peak somewhere around May 10th, May 11th, around there, 2023. But the strongest one is the 181 in regards to the spectrum analyzer. This right here is the dominant cycle. This is the 82, I believe, and this cycle hits a cycle low now, and then it goes up into May 8th. Actually, let's look at the daily to see what we could extract there. Okay, so this is the daily chart, and there's two cycles here: the 187, which is the dominant cycle, then the 295. So we start off with the stronger one, the 187. You can see that we hit a trough somewhere around February the 7th, and now it hits a peak around May the 27th. If we go to the 295, that one hit a trough cycle low around February the 20th and hits a peak around July the 27th. So since these two are positive going up, let's do a composite. That means you merge both of them. And what you get is roughly around June the 14th, probably for a cycle, cycle high or a top. We'll see how that's going to play out. Let's look at the seasonality, see if we can get any clues out of there. Okay, so this is the seasonality here, and I wanted to show you some things here. Using a 5-year, you can see that May is pretty weak, and April is weak, but May is the weakest also with October. But then if we stretch it out into 10 years, you can see that April is weak, and May is pretty strong. A little above over 50% here. We go to 15 years. 15, you can see that April is weak and May is pretty strong. If we go to 20 years, which is max, you see that May is pretty strong. So we already know on the weekly chart that the 395 cycle goes bullish and then cycle peaks in May. We know that on the weekly chart, the 82 dominant cycle peaks in May. And then we go to the daily chart. On the daily cycle, we know that the 182 peaks also in May. So there's a lot of things lining up in May. All we have to do is wait for price action to maybe do a nice little flush to the downside and then pop. Okay, guys, so this is a seasonality chart with dates. We're going to use the 5-year and see what clues we could get. As you can see, the dollar could continue pushing lower using a 5-year and could possibly bottom up around the April the 12th. And then it goes all the way up to like May the 11th, and then it kind of grinds, sideways to lower. Using the 10-year, kind of the same thing. Here's a little peak on April the 5th, pulls back a little further into April 17th, and then maybe there's another pullback April the 27th, and then it goes up to like, you could say maybe May the 26th. So the 10-year tops at May 26th, the 5-year May 11th. If we add the 15-year average, you can see they peak around April 5th. Maybe next week we'll probably get this big flush, which would be nice because that's what I'm kind of like leaning on, price target 98. And April the 28th, the 15-year average bottoms out. And then it gets a nice pop somewhere around between May 24th. You could probably say May 24th and May 16th. So those are the dates in regards to seasonality. Looking at commitments to trader report, these guys right here are the commercial. These guys are the speculators. And this is retail. This is not important. What's important is large speculators, but mostly commercial. So commercial, as of right now, they're at a minus 15.085. Large commercial are accumulating. Looks like while price action continues to push lower. So if price action continues to push lower, I'm going to see large commercial start accumulating and buying, and large speculators should be selling. Okay, so this is our earlier wave chart. As you can see, this is the monthly. We have a wave 5 up here, and we go to the weekly. There's a wave 5 still, 1, 2, 103, or it was somewhere around 106.89, and there was another projection line of 108.38. It looks like we never made it that far. The highest we went was pretty much 105.85, and now we're kind of projecting lower. So maybe if we push lower into next week, chances are this is going to be your wave 4, and then wave 5 is down. But if we go to the daily, you can see that we have a wave 5 over here. 1, 2. This is a wave 3. We got this nice little pop, A, B, C, 4, and these little stars, red, crosses. That's indicating that if we were to continue pushing higher and cross and close above this, that means that all this whole count is void. But so far that hasn't happened. So that leads me to believe that price action is going to go lower. And I've been saying this for a while. I believe that 98, here is a projection wave 5 of 97.71. Somewhere around 99, 98. It's going to be that ballpark where we could probably have a wave 5. I think this is going to be my last video. I mean, I have so much information to show you and share in regards to the dollar, but I want to try to keep it simple. Maybe on the next video, I'll show you other things I haven't shown you on this video. So let's start off with our Gann. Mind you, this is a scaled chart, so you can see that it's 45 degree. I mean, it's 44.59, but I could adjust it at 45. But everything here is scale, and you can see that right here we're about to get close to this fan, which is like 100 and change as for support, and that's from this swing pivot low. When it's lows like this, you have this one and this one. I have a habit of just using both. There's clues when you use both of these. You can see that this one worked out well, so this one was all right, but I like to see them. But you can see that this one had a little more support here. Now it cracked it. So if we were to flush down somewhere around, what is that, 99, I guess you can start from 8. Well, I got to crash down there. But, anywhere between 99 and up is going to find this support. So let's go to the Gann fan from up here. You can see that this is a 45. And I've been telling my subscribers that there was resistance here. And that if we were to close above that, kind of reminds me of uranium spot price where it's just kind of hovering above it. If it could stay above it and stay close above it and just chuck along and grind higher, chances are it's going to test this angle. But you can see that we failed here, and now we're pushing lower. Maybe once it hits April and we bottom out, maybe in May is going to test it. And if it fails, it'll push lower. But if it'll continue, which is a wave 5, then it'll probably push higher and then put pressure on the metals. In regards to the Gann square, you can see that this has been resistant. This is pretty much the 50%, which is the 101.97. It's just kind of hovering around there, but it hasn't closed above there yet. But you can see that this is resistance, and obviously this angle is going to be support, and that's from the this swing low all the way to this high, which I have it not kissing here, but I have it, from the actual high, which I know is like 114 and change. So that's what I'm watching. And this one, I believe, is from this low to the high of 114. So I'm using both because, I don't know which is the one low that's going to like make it more where it's going to, vibrate and dance better and find better support and resistance. So I got to use both to kind of get an edge and kind of see which is the one that's working. As you can see, this is kind of finding support at this angle, and this level right here is a 102.15. So if we get to close above 102.15, 101 and change, then it's going to be pretty strong. It's holding, but if it can't, then there's 99 right here, and there's 97. So somewhere around here could be some support. Let me look at the other one. This one would be like 98.77. So that could be a target because I'm leaning on 98 because of the square of 9. If we do the pitchfork, you can see that we failed here and we failed here. In regards to Fibonacci, you can see that this is the 50%. 61.8 is 98.98. So that's a possible target to the downside. And the last one, which I wanted to show you, I think this is the minor scale. This one hits what I call vector, or like MSJ calls them, April the 13th. So you got to put that on your radar, April the 13th. I think I remember seeing that date somewhere else also. But keep it on your watch for April the 13th on the dollar. What does that mean? It could be the swing low. It could be just some big volatility kicking in. I don't know what the price action is going to do, but we know that April is weak in regards to seasonality. There's some cycles that are, down, and there's also some cycles that are up into May, and we know seasonality wise May is strong. So one thing you just want to put there on your radar for April the 13th. And I think that's it for me. What are my thoughts? If we take out 101.16, that's the close, it's going to definitely push lower. Keep 98, 99, 97 in your radar. Potential wave 5, and then see now we start making higher highs and higher lows into May for a swing play, which kind of reminds me of Nat Gas One thing that nat gas is not here. Nat gas is somewhere like down here if it was related to the dollar. We're so very close to the low, and I just looked at price action, and it's they flushed it down to like 199. So I don't know, we'll see. I thought this week was going to be very positive, and it's just been like chop fest back and forth. I feel like maybe they're just building a position, but I know that next week price action is going to look very promising in regards to trading days, but you know, that's another video. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video. Let me know your thoughts, your comments on the dollar. You think we bottomed out here, we go up, put pressure on the metals and the inverse trade, or there's more downside. That means that the metals and the inverse trade, they're going to, you know, push higher. Good Friday. Happy Friday to you guys. Happy Easter and all that. If I don't get to see you or talk to you, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on the dollar.